Okay, today we're going to kit a job. It's a 260-9048. What we have to do is firstly print off a list of the parts we need to collect, and that's quite easy to do. We just press Ctrl N and out comes a list from the printer. We then go around and collect the stock from the drawers. So the first one is 1206 10K, so we pick that from the drawer with all the other parts and we bring it down. We then have to bring across the overstock, and the way we do that is we come out of this bit, counting the amount of reels, and we scroll down to all the ones that are starred, and one by one we bring them across. The amount on the reel is normally 5,000 on this particular device, so that's how many we bring across. So once we've compiled them all in our dispatch note, we bring it all up and then we collect them. We have to make sure it's the right GRN. Here is the reel.
Upside down.
It's upside down.
And where is the GRN?
And the GRN number is there, and that is the part number, and that is the type. We now have to scan the device, and the printer will print out a label just there.
Oh.
We then stick the label on the reel.
And why you're doing that?
To make sure that the device matches.
The barcode.
Yes. So 100% make sure it's the right part. We then dispatch the goods into the kit. Once you've gone through and collected all the items and brought across your floor stock, the brand new reels, we then highlight it all off on the sheet and pop all the reels in the box together.
Like
And
that.
here's one we did earlier. So we've got each component that's the same banded together, and the staff downstairs will use the part used wheels first, then the complete wheels, and that's the highlighted kitting list. And then this goes downstairs to the operators where a lovely lady sets it all up.
What's her name?
Arlene. We are going to print a PCB. We have a stencil with apertures in that line up with the PCB. The stencil needs to go in a frame which will go into the printer, which we will see in a minute. First thing we do is we put the stencil in the frame. So we need an air line which plugs into the frame, which when I press my foot on the switch, these move in and out, which will grip the frame. The stencil is not quite sat in there properly, it's a bit raised there. So what I normally do is pop it on a flat surface, release the air, and then it will be in there nice and snug. Now I have the frame will go in the printer. This is the printer, this is the screen. The first thing I have to do is select load the program. This is the program we're loading, so I click on it and press load. It then moves the rails, which you will see in a minute. Once the rails have moved, we can push this back, and then we can put our tooling in the printer. The tooling is removable by magnetic, and these are what we call grid lock, which lift up and down when a PCB goes in. I will now put the frame into the machine. I have to ensure the frame is the right way round, which it is, because the connector pads are on the right hand side, the same as the PCB. I then push the frame into the printer and I close the lid. I press a blue button to acknowledge that the printer is ready. I then press fiducials and I load the screen, which clamps it into the right position.
Can't really see it.
Doesn't help. I will now load the board. I have to take this off check, and in the board goes. I will now make sure that the board is aligned. And we can lift the lid and we can see that all the apertures are lined up with the copper parts on the PCB. So this is now ready to print. We will, when we're ready, put paste along here, and the blades will quite simply move across and move the paste across the apertures, and the paste will only be on the parts that you want it to be. I'll close the lid.
That is for safety, why we close the lid, yeah?
That is for safety, so that we do not chop our hands off. Now the board will come out in a few seconds. There we go.
Just removing masking tape. They protect them from before they're soldering them on the selected.
All right. And then you put this,
Yeah.
and this is the cables.
Yeah, all the joints which they solder here. The rest of the copper they protected
All right.
to not being soldered.
Okay.
So just removing that.
All right.
Now after that, some of them you can see they haven't been soldered. They don't have access. They
Yeah.
have to solder them by hand. And I fit the wires, the LED.
And this is the wires that you're fitting
Yeah.
on that one.
That's how they look like.
Okay. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.